Let's get ready for the Arizona real estate exam with 100 questions covering state-specific laws, principles, and practices you'll need to know. And don't miss what's happening in the bottom corner. It could be key to your exam prep. We'll tell you how in a minute. Now, let's get started.
Let's start with a review of Arizona real estate laws and regulations. Overview of Arizona real estate statutes. What is the primary purpose of the Arizona Department of Real Estate? Is it A, to regulate real estate practices and protect public interests? B, to set property tax rates across Arizona? C, to provide legal advice to real estate agents? Or D, to manage real estate transactions for the state? The answer is A, to regulate real estate practices and protect public interests. The ADRE is responsible for regulating real estate practices in Arizona, ensuring compliance with laws and protecting public interests. It oversees licensing, education, and enforcement activities. What is required for a real estate contract to be enforceable in Arizona? Is it A, a verbal agreement between buyer and seller? B, an agreement witnessed by a third party? C, a written contract signed by all parties? Or D, an email confirmation from the buyer? The answer is C, a written contract signed by all parties. An enforceable real estate contract in Arizona must be in writing, signed by all parties involved, and clearly outline the terms and conditions of the agreement.
Have you noticed the code in the bottom corner? Next time you're stumped, take that code to birdsy.ai for immediate help and a free study session with Birdsy, your personal AI study partner. Plus, you'll get access to hundreds of additional questions, helping you move closer to passing your exam with confidence. The next time you're feeling unsure or stuck, give it a try.
What is the primary responsibility of the Arizona Real Estate Advisory Board? Is it A, enforcing real estate laws? B, advising the commissioner on real estate practices? C, issuing real estate licenses? Or D, setting real estate commission rates? The answer is B, advising the commissioner on real estate practices. The Arizona Real Estate Advisory Board provides recommendations and advice to the commissioner regarding real estate practices and policies. It does not have regulatory authority, but serves an advisory role. Which of the following is required for a real estate transaction to be valid under Arizona law? Is it A, a written contract? B, an oral agreement? C, a verbal acknowledgement? Or D, a handshake deal? The answer is A, a written contract. A valid real estate transaction in Arizona requires a written contract. Oral agreements are not enforceable under the Statute of Frauds, which mandates written contracts for real estate transactions. Under Arizona law, who is responsible for disclosing material facts about a property? Is it A, the buyer? B, the real estate agent? C, the seller? Or D, the home inspector? The answer is C, the seller. In Arizona, the seller is primarily responsible for disclosing material facts about a property. This includes any known issues that could affect the property's value or desirability. What is the purpose of the Arizona homestead exemption? Is it A, to reduce property taxes? B, to increase property value? C, to facilitate property sales? Or D, to protect homeowner equity from creditors? The answer is D, to protect homeowner equity from creditors. The Arizona homestead exemption protects a portion of a homeowner's equity from creditors. It provides financial security by preventing forced sale of the home up to a certain amount. Arizona-specific fair housing laws. Which of the following is prohibited under Arizona's fair housing laws? Is it A, offering incentives to buyers? B, refusing to rent based on national origin? C, advertising property features? Or D, setting property prices? The answer is B, refusing to rent based on national origin. Arizona's fair housing laws prohibit discrimination based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, or national origin in housing-related transactions. What is the primary purpose of Arizona's fair housing laws? Is it A, to regulate property taxes, B, to control housing prices, C, to prevent discrimination in housing, or D, to manage real estate commissions? The answer is C, to prevent discrimination in housing. The primary purpose of Arizona's fair housing laws is to prevent discrimination in housing transactions, ensuring equal opportunity for all individuals to obtain housing. Under Arizona fair housing laws, which group is protected from discrimination? Is it A, individuals with disabilities, B, pet owners, C, individuals based on income level, or D, student? The answer is A, individuals with disabilities. Arizona fair housing laws protect groups based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, and national origin from discrimination in housing transactions. What is considered discriminatory advertising under Arizona fair housing laws? Is it A, listing property dimensions, B, describing neighborhood amenities, C, specifying pet policies, or D, indicating a preference for single individuals? The answer is D, indicating a preference for single individuals. Discriminatory advertising includes any language that suggests a preference or limitation based on race, color, religion, sex, handicap, familial status, or national origin.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Arizona-specific contract requirements. What is a unique requirement for real estate contracts in Arizona? Is it A, a witness signature, B, a notary public seal, C, a legal description of the property, or D, an attorney's review? The answer is C, a legal description of the property. Arizona requires that all real estate contracts include a description of the property by legal description, which ensures that the property in question is clearly identified. In Arizona, which party is typically responsible for providing the disclosure of lead-based paint in homes built before 1978? Is it A, the seller, B, the buyer, C, the real estate agent, or D, the home inspector? The answer is A, the seller. In Arizona, the seller is responsible for providing the lead-based paint disclosure to inform the buyer of potential hazards in homes built before 1978. What is the purpose of the Arizona Buyer Advisory in real estate transactions? Is it A, to outline seller financing options, B, to inform buyers about potential property issues, C, to negotiate closing costs, or D, to list recent property sales? The answer is B, to inform buyers about potential property issues. The Arizona Buyer Advisory is designed to inform buyers about potential issues and considerations in purchasing property, providing a comprehensive overview of what to expect. How long does a buyer have to cancel a contract after receiving the HOA disclosure in Arizona? Is it A, 2 days, B, 3 days, C, 7 days, or D, 5 days? The answer is D, 5 days. In Arizona, a buyer has 5 days to cancel the contract after receiving the HOA disclosure, allowing time to assess any potential concerns with the homeowners association. Which document is mandatory in Arizona real estate transactions to outline the buyer's due diligence responsibilities? Is it A, purchase agreement, B, seller's disclosure, C, buyer's advisory, or D, home inspection report? The answer is C, buyer's advisory. In Arizona, The buyer's advisory is a crucial document that outlines the buyer's due diligence responsibilities. It ensures buyers are aware of their rights and obligations during the transaction process. In Arizona, what must be included in a real estate contract regarding the property's condition? Is it A, seller's property disclosure statement, B, title insurance policy, C, a homeowners association addendum, or D, lead-based paint disclosure? The answer is A, seller's property disclosure statement. Arizona contracts require a seller's property disclosure statement to inform buyers about the property's condition, ensuring transparency and protecting buyer interests. Let's continue with licensing requirements and procedures. Arizona licensing requirements and procedures. What is the minimum age requirement to obtain a real estate salesperson license in Arizona? Is it A, 16 years, B, 18 years, C, 21 years, or D, 25 years? The answer is B, 18 years. In Arizona, applicants must be at least 18 years old to be eligible for a real estate salesperson license. This requirement is standard to ensure maturity and legal capacity to enter into contracts. How many hours of pre-licensing education are required for a real estate salesperson license in Arizona? Is it A, 45 hours, B, 60 hours, C, 90 hours, or D, 120 hours? The answer is C, 90 hours. Arizona requires 90 hours of pre-licensing education for aspiring real estate salespersons. This coursework covers essential real estate principles, practices, and state-specific regulations to prepare candidates for the licensing exam. Which of the following is not required to apply for a real estate salesperson license in Arizona? Is it A, background check, B, completion of pre-licensing education, C, passing the state licensing exam, or D, credit check? The answer is D, credit check. A credit check is not a requirement for obtaining a real estate salesperson license in Arizona. Applicants must focus on education, passing the exam, and background checks. What is the validity period of a real estate salesperson license in Arizona before it needs renewal? Is it A, 2 years, B, 3 years, C, 4 years, or D, 5 years? The answer is A, 2 years. In Arizona, a real estate salesperson license is valid for 2 years. Licensees must complete continuing education and renew their license biennially to continue practicing legally.
Stuck on a question? Just think of the Birdsy link in the description as your friendly neighborhood superhero, swooping in to save the day with answers. Feel free to explore it now and return to continue. Simply hit pause, and we'll be waiting when you get back.
Continuing education requirements. What is the minimum number of continuing education hours required for real estate license renewal in Arizona? Is it A, 12 hours, B, 18 hours, C, 24 hours, or D, 30 hours? The answer is C, 24 hours. Arizona requires real estate licensees to complete 24 hours of continuing education every 2 years. This ensures that professionals stay updated with current laws, practices, and industry standards. Which of the following topics is not typically covered in the mandatory continuing education courses for Arizona real estate licensees? Is it A, agency law, B, interior design, C, contract law, or D, fair housing? The answer is B, interior design. While courses on agency law, contract law, and fair housing are mandatory, topics like interior design are not part of the required continuing education curriculum for Arizona real estate licensees. How often must Arizona real estate licensees complete their continuing education requirements? Is it A, every 2 years, B, annually, C, every 3 years, or D, every 5 years? The answer is A, every 2 years. Arizona real estate licensees are required to complete their continuing education every 2 years to ensure they remain informed about the latest industry practices and legal requirements. Which of the following is a consequence of failing to complete continuing education requirements in Arizona? Is it A, a fine, B, a warning, C, increased education hours, or D, inability to renew the license? The answer is D, inability to renew the license. Failing to complete the required continuing education results in the inability to renew the real estate license, effectively suspending the licensee's ability to practice legally. Arizona-specific exam structure and content. What is the minimum passing score required to pass the Arizona real estate salesperson exam? Is it A, 65%, B, 70%, C, 75%, or D, 80%? The answer is C, 75%. The Arizona real estate salesperson exam requires a minimum passing score of 75% to ensure that candidates have sufficient knowledge of real estate laws and practices specific to Arizona. How many questions are included in the Arizona real estate salesperson exam? Is it A, 150, B, 180, C, 200, or D, 220? The answer is B, 180. The Arizona real estate salesperson exam consists of 180 questions designed to test the comprehensive knowledge of candidates on both national and state-specific real estate principles. Which of the following topics is not covered in the Arizona real estate salesperson exam? Is it A, Arizona real estate laws, B, real estate finance, C, property management, or D, international real estate markets? The answer is D, international real estate markets. The Arizona real estate salesperson exam does not cover topics related to international real estate markets, focusing instead on national and state-specific real estate practices. What is the time limit for completing the Arizona real estate salesperson exam? Is it A, 120 minutes, B, 180 minutes, C, 300 minutes, or D, 360 minutes? The answer is C, 300 minutes. The Arizona real estate salesperson exam must be completed within a specified time frame to ensure candidates can demonstrate their knowledge efficiently. This time limit is set to 300 minutes. Now, let's check your understanding of Arizona property ownership and land use. Types of property ownership, e.g. fee simple, leasehold, joint tenancy. What type of property ownership in Arizona allows an owner the most control over their property, including the right to sell, lease, or pass it on to heirs? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, tenancy in common? The answer is A, fee simple. Fee simple ownership is the highest form of property ownership, granting the owner full rights to the property, including the ability to sell, lease, or bequeath it without restrictions. Which type of property ownership in Arizona involves 2 or more people owning a property with the right of survivorship? Is it A, fee simple, B, leasehold, C, joint tenancy, or D, community property? The answer is C, joint tenancy. Joint tenancy allows multiple people to own property together, and upon the death of one owner, their share automatically passes to the surviving owners, bypassing probate. How does tenancy in common differ from joint tenancy in Arizona property ownership? Is it A, it includes the right of survivorship, B, owners can have unequal shares, C, it is only available for married couples, or D, it automatically converts to joint tenancy? The answer is B, owners can have unequal shares. Tenancy in common allows co-owners to own unequal shares and does not include the right of survivorship, meaning each owner's share can be bequeathed to heirs independently. What is a key characteristic of a leasehold estate in Arizona? Is it A, ownership rights are transferred, B, the lessee can sell the property, C, it includes the right of survivorship, or D, it is for a specified period? The answer is D. It is for a specified period. A leasehold estate provides the lessee with the right to use and occupy the property for a specified period as determined by the lease agreement without ownership rights. Public versus private land use controls. Which of the following is a primary purpose of zoning laws in Arizona? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to segregate different land uses, C, to enforce building codes, or D, to allocate municipal funds? The answer is B, to segregate different land uses. Zoning laws are implemented to segregate different land uses, such as residential, commercial, and industrial, to ensure organized development and minimize conflicts between different land uses. What is the main function of a deed restriction in Arizona? Is it A, to regulate utility services, B, to enforce zoning laws, C, to limit the use of property, or D, to increase property value? The answer is C, to limit the use of property. Deed restrictions are private agreements that restrict the use or occupancy of real estate. They are used to maintain a certain standard or appearance within a community. How do public land use controls differ from private land use controls in Arizona? Is it A, public controls are government-imposed, private are owner-imposed, B, private controls are more enforceable than public, C, public controls are voluntary, private are mandatory, or D, there is no significant difference? The answer is A, public controls are government-imposed, private are owner-imposed. Public controls are government-imposed regulations like zoning laws, while private controls include deed restrictions set by property owners or developers to manage land use. What role does the Arizona Department of Real Estate play in land use controls? Is it A, enforces zoning laws, B, imposes deed restrictions, C, regulates construction standards, or D, oversees real estate practices? The answer is D, oversees real estate practices. The Arizona Department of Real Estate regulates real estate practices and ensures compliance with state laws, but does not directly enforce land use controls like zoning or deed restrictions. Land use and zoning laws. What is a key purpose of zoning laws in Arizona? Is it A, to increase property taxes, B, to separate different land uses, C, to regulate building materials, or D, to grant property tax exemptions? The answer is B, to separate different land uses. Zoning laws in Arizona are primarily designed to separate different land uses, such as residential, commercial, and industrial, to minimize conflicts and ensure orderly development. Which of the following is a common zoning classification in Arizona? Is it A, residential, B, educational, C, recreational, or D, historical? The answer is A, residential. Residential, commercial, industrial, and agricultural are common zoning classifications used to regulate land use and development patterns in Arizona. What is a variance in the context of Arizona zoning laws? Is it A, a change in property ownership, B, a reclassification of zoning type, C, an exception to zoning regulations, or D, a temporary land use permit? The answer is C, an exception to zoning regulations. A variance is a legal allowance to deviate from the set zoning regulations, typically granted when strict enforcement would cause undue hardship due to unique property circumstances. Which body typically oversees zoning changes in Arizona municipalities? Is it A, the state legislature, B, the county assessor, C, the governor's office, or D, city or town council? The answer is D, city or town council. In Arizona, city or town councils, often with input from planning commissions, are responsible for overseeing and approving zoning changes within their jurisdictions.
Notice the code in the corner? When you're stumped by a question, enter it at birdsy.ai for immediate help. Enjoy complimentary study sessions and access to hundreds of additional questions to help you pass your exam with confidence.
Condominiums and HOAs. What is the primary purpose of a homeowners association in a condominium community in Arizona? Is it A, to sell individual units to prospective buyers, B, to manage and maintain common areas and enforce community rules, C, to provide individual unit maintenance and repair services, or D, to determine property taxes for each unit? The answer is B, to manage and maintain common areas and enforce community rules. An HOA in Arizona manages the maintenance and regulation of common areas and enforces community rules, ensuring property values are maintained and residents adhere to agreed standards. Which document typically outlines the rules and regulations that govern a condominium association in Arizona? Is it A, covenants, conditions, and restrictions, B, purchase agreement, C, deed of trust, or D, lease agreement? The answer is A, covenants, conditions, and restrictions, CC&Rs. The CC&Rs, or covenants, conditions, and restrictions, detail the rules and regulations for condominium associations, specifying the rights and responsibilities of both the association and the unit owners. In Arizona, who typically has the authority to amend the rules set forth by a condominium's HOA? Is it A, individual unit owners, B, the local government, C, the HOA board of directors, or D, the property developer? The answer is C, the HOA board of directors. The condominium's HOA board of directors usually has the authority to propose amendments, which often require approval by a majority vote of the association's members to be enacted. What is one of the key responsibilities of the board of directors in an Arizona condominium association? Is it A, providing legal advice to residents, B, appraising individual unit values, C, enforcing state property laws, or D, managing the association's finances? The answer is D, managing the association's finances. The board of directors is responsible for managing the association's finances, including budgeting and ensuring financial health, which is crucial for maintaining the community's infrastructure and services. Environmental regulations and water rights. Which of the following water rights doctrine is primarily used in Arizona? Is it A, riparian rights, B, littoral rights, C, prior appropriation, or D, correlative rights? The answer is C, prior appropriation. Arizona follows the doctrine of prior appropriation, which grants water rights based on the chronological order of water use. This system is essential in arid regions where water is scarce. What is the purpose of the Arizona Groundwater Management Act of 1980? Is it A, to promote agricultural expansion, B, to regulate groundwater use and conservation, C, to privatize water resources, or D, to eliminate water rights? The answer is B, to regulate groundwater use and conservation. The Arizona Groundwater Management Act was enacted to regulate groundwater use, prevent overuse, and ensure long-term water availability, addressing the state's significant water scarcity issues. Which of the following is a key feature of the Arizona Water Banking Authority? Is it A, storing unused Colorado River water, B, diverting water to neighboring states, C, increasing water tariffs, or D, promoting desalination projects? The answer is A, storing unused Colorado River water. The Arizona Water Banking Authority stores unused Colorado River water for future use, ensuring a reliable water supply during shortages and supporting water management strategies. In Arizona, what is the primary purpose of an active management area? Is it A, to support mining activities, B, to promote urban development, C, to enhance tourism, or D, to manage and conserve water resources? The answer is D, to manage and conserve water resources. Active management areas in Arizona are designated to manage groundwater resources sustainably, prevent depletion, and ensure water availability for future generations, especially in areas facing high demand.
Don't forget to comment below with your tips, challenges, and thoughts on exam preparation. Your experiences can make a big difference for others.
Let's continue with a review of Arizona agency law and ethics. Agency relationship laws. Which of the following is a duty owed by an agent to their principal under Arizona agency law? Is it A, duty of negligence, B, duty of indifference, C, duty of loyalty, or D, duty of secrecy? The answer is C, duty of loyalty. In Arizona, an agent owes their principal duties of loyalty, obedience, disclosure, confidentiality, accounting, and reasonable care. These duties ensure the agent acts in the principal's best interest. In Arizona, what is a key element required to establish an agency relationship? Is it A, mutual consent, B, financial transaction, C, employment contract, or D, verbal agreement? The answer is A, mutual consent. An agency relationship in Arizona is typically established through mutual consent, where both the principal and agent agree to the agency terms, often formalized in a written agreement. What does the duty of disclosure entail in an agency relationship under Arizona law? Is it A, keeping secrets from the principal, B, promoting the agent's interests, C, avoiding conflicts with other agents, or D, informing the principal of material facts? The answer is D, informing the principal of material facts. The duty of disclosure requires agents to inform their principals of all material facts and information relevant to the transaction, ensuring that principals can make informed decisions. Under Arizona agency law, what is the consequence if an agent acts outside their authority? Is it A, the agent is automatically fired, B, the agent may be personally liable, C, the principal is always bound, or D, the agent's actions are ignored? The answer is B, the agent may be personally liable. If an agent acts outside their authority, they may be held personally liable for those actions. The principal is not bound by unauthorized acts unless they ratify them. Fiduciary duties and client representation. In Arizona, which fiduciary duty requires an agent to act in the best interest of their client, prioritizing the client's needs above their own? Is it A, duty of confidentiality, B, duty of loyalty, C, duty of disclosure, or D, duty of care? The answer is B, duty of loyalty. The duty of loyalty mandates that agents prioritize their client's interests, ensuring no conflict between personal interests and those of the client. This duty is fundamental in maintaining trust. Which fiduciary duty obligates Arizona real estate agents to keep their clients' information confidential unless authorized to disclose? Is it A, duty of confidentiality, B, duty of loyalty, C, duty of disclosure, or D, duty of accounting? The answer is A, duty of confidentiality. The duty of confidentiality requires agents to protect their client's private information, only disclosing it with the client's consent or when legally required. What is the primary responsibility of an Arizona real estate agent under the duty of accounting? Is it A, providing legal advice, B, ensuring property value appreciation, C, maintaining client confidentiality, or D, accurately tracking financial transactions? The answer is D, accurately tracking financial transactions. The duty of accounting requires agents to accurately track and report all financial transactions related to the client, ensuring transparency and trust in financial matters. Under Arizona law, what does the duty of disclosure require an agent to do? Is it A, negotiate the best deal, B, keep clients' information confidential, C, inform clients of all material facts, or D, act within the scope of authority? The answer is C, inform clients of all material facts. The duty of disclosure mandates that agents inform clients of all material facts that could affect the transaction, ensuring clients make informed decisions. Arizona Ethics Guidelines and Enforcement. What is the primary purpose of the Arizona Ethics Guidelines for real estate professionals? Is it A, to ensure high ethical standards and protect consumers, B, to increase real estate sales and market growth, C, to provide legal advice to real estate agents, or D, to regulate commission rates for real estate transactions? The answer is A, to ensure high ethical standards and protect consumers. The Arizona Ethics Guidelines aim to ensure that real estate professionals adhere to high ethical standards, promoting trust and integrity within the industry and protecting consumers from unethical practices. Which of the following actions would likely result in disciplinary action under Arizona's ethics guidelines? Is it A, providing accurate property information to clients, B, promptly submitting all offers to the seller, C, failing to disclose a known defect in a property, or D, advising clients to seek legal counsel for contract issues? The answer is C, failing to disclose a known defect in a property. Disciplinary action can result from unethical conduct, such as misrepresentation, fraud, or failing to disclose material facts, which violate the principles set by Arizona's ethics guidelines. Under Arizona agency law, which of the following must a real estate agent disclose to all parties in a transaction? Is it A, the agent's personal financial status, B, any conflicts of interest, C, the agent's commission rate, or D, the agent's previous transaction history? The answer is B, any conflicts of interest. Real estate agents in Arizona must disclose any conflicts of interest to ensure transparency and maintain trust in their professional relationships as required by agency law. What is a key ethical requirement for real estate agents when handling client funds in Arizona? Is it A, invest client funds in a high-interest account, B, use client funds for operational expenses, C, return client funds only after a transaction is completed, or D, place client funds in a trust account? The answer is D, place client funds in a trust account. Real estate agents must place client funds in a trust account to prevent commingling and ensure proper management and protection of the funds, as mandated by Arizona ethics guidelines.
If you're finding this helpful, please take a minute to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, useful tips, and complimentary study sessions with Birdsy.
Let's spend the next few minutes looking at Arizona property valuation. Basic principles of property valuation. Which of the following best describes the principle of substitution in property valuation? Is it A, the value of a property is determined by its historical cost, B, a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring a similar property, C, the value of a property is based on its potential rental income, or D, a property's value is determined by its original purchase price? The answer is B, a property's value is influenced by the cost of acquiring a similar property. The principle of substitution states that a property's value is determined by the cost of acquiring an equally desirable substitute property. This principle is fundamental in valuation as it underpins the comparative approach. What is the principle of highest and best use in property valuation? Is it A, a property's value is maximized by its current use? B, the value is determined by the most recent sale price? C, the most profitable legal use of a property determines its value? Or D, the property's value is based on its zoning classification? The answer is C, the most profitable legal use of a property determines its value. The principle of highest and best use refers to the most profitable legal use of a property, which results in the highest value. This principle considers legal, physical, and financial feasibility. How does the principle of contribution affect property valuation? Is it A, it assesses how much a feature adds to the property's overall value? B, it determines the cost of replacing a property's features? C, it evaluates the historical significance of a property? Or D, it measures the depreciation of property features over time? The answer is A, it assesses how much a feature adds to the property's overall value. The principle of contribution states that the value of a property feature is determined by how much it adds to the overall property value, not by its cost. This principle is crucial in assessing improvements. Which principle explains why a property's value might decrease due to external factors? Is it A, principle of anticipation? B, principle of balance? C, principle of conformity? Or D, principle of externalities? The answer is D, principle of externalities. The principle of externalities indicates that external factors, such as economic changes or neighborhood developments, can impact property values positively or negatively, often beyond the owner's control. Sales comparison, cost, and income approaches. In the sales comparison approach, which factor is most critical when selecting comparable properties? Is it A, age of the property? B, number of bedrooms? C, similarity in location and features? Or D, recent renovations? The answer is C, similarity in location and features. The sales comparison approach relies heavily on selecting comparable properties that are similar in location, size, and condition to the subject property. These factors ensure accurate valuation adjustments. What is the primary objective of the cost approach in property valuation? Is it A, to estimate potential rental income? B, to estimate the replacement cost minus depreciation? C, to compare recent sales of similar properties? Or D, to assess market trends? The answer is B, to estimate the replacement cost minus depreciation. The cost approach aims to determine the value of a property based on the cost of constructing a similar structure, accounting for depreciation and land value. Which method is used in the income approach to estimate the value of a property? Is it A, capitalization rate? B, depreciation schedule? C, sales comparison? Or D, construction costs? The answer is A, capitalization rate. The income approach uses the capitalization rate to convert expected income into a present value, ideal for income-generating properties. In Arizona, what adjustment is typically made in the sales comparison approach for a property with a pool compared to one without? Is it A, no adjustment is needed? B, subtract value from the comparable with a pool? C, add value to the comparable without a pool? Or D, add value to the subject property for the pool? The answer is D, add value to the subject property for the pool. Adjustments are made to account for differences in amenities like pools, which can significantly impact property value in Arizona's climate. Let's continue with a review of Arizona real estate financing. Mortgage loans and financing options. Which type of mortgage is specifically designed for low to moderate income borrowers in Arizona, often requiring little to no down payment? Is it A, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, B, conventional loan, C, jumbo loan, or D, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, VA loan? The answer is A, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan. An FHA loan is insured by the Federal Housing Administration and is popular among first-time homebuyers with lower incomes due to its lower down payment requirements and flexible credit guidelines. What is the primary advantage of a VA loan for eligible veterans and active duty service members in Arizona? Is it A, higher borrowing limits, B, no down payment requirement, C, lower credit score requirements, or D, tax benefit? The answer is B, no down payment requirement. VA loans offer benefits such as no down payment requirement, no private mortgage insurance, and competitive interest rates, making them an attractive option for eligible veterans and active duty service members. In Arizona, which mortgage option allows homeowners to access the equity in their home without selling it? Is it A, reverse mortgage, B, Federal Housing Administration, FHA loan, C, conventional refinance, or D, home equity line of credit? The answer is D, home equity line of credit. A home equity line of credit allows homeowners to borrow against the equity in their home. It provides flexibility as a revolving line of credit, similar to a credit card. What is a key feature of an adjustable rate mortgage that might appeal to some Arizona homebuyers? Is it A, fixed interest rate for the loan's term, B, higher initial monthly payments, C, lower initial interest rates, or D, guaranteed loan term extensions? The answer is C, lower initial interest rates. An ARM typically offers lower initial interest rates compared to fixed-rate mortgages, which can lead to lower initial monthly payments, appealing to buyers planning to move or refinance before rates adjust. Loan applications and approval processes. What is a key factor that Arizona lenders consider when evaluating a loan application? Is it A, borrower's age, B, local real estate market trends, C, debt-to-income ratio, or D, number of dependents? The answer is C, debt-to-income ratio. Debt-to-income ratio is crucial as it measures a borrower's ability to manage monthly payments and repay debts. Lenders use this ratio to assess financial stability. Which document is essential for verifying a borrower's income during the loan application process in Arizona? Is it A, passport, B, W-2 form, C, voter ID, or D, utility bill? The answer is B, W-2 form. W-2 forms provide official documentation of income from employers, which lenders use to verify the borrower's income stability and capacity to repay the loan. In Arizona, what is the purpose of a pre-qualification in the loan approval process? Is it A, estimate borrowing potential, B, secure a loan commitment, C, determine interest rates, or D, finalize loan terms? The answer is A, estimate borrowing potential. Pre-qualification helps borrowers understand how much they might be able to borrow based on preliminary financial information before formal application and credit checks. What role does the credit score play in the Arizona loan approval process? Is it A, determines property value, B, sets closing costs, C, establishes loan amount, or D, assesses borrower risk? The answer is D, assesses borrower risk. Credit scores assess the risk level of a borrower. Higher scores indicate lower risk, often leading to better loan terms and higher chances of approval. Arizona mortgage disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of Arizona's mortgage disclosure requirements? Is it A, to increase lender profits, B, To simplify the loan process. C. To ensure transparency and consumer protection. Or D. To reduce paperwork for lenders. The answer is C. To ensure transparency and consumer protection. Arizona's mortgage disclosure requirements aim to ensure transparency and protect consumers by providing crucial information about the terms and conditions of a mortgage loan, helping them make informed decisions. Which document is crucial for borrowers to understand the total cost of their mortgage in Arizona? Is it A, the deed of trust, B, the loan estimate, C, the purchase agreement, or D, the promissory note? The answer is B, the loan estimate. The loan estimate provides borrowers with detailed information about the total cost of their mortgage, including interest rates, monthly payments, and closing costs, enabling informed financial decisions. When must the closing disclosure be provided to the borrower under Arizona mortgage disclosure laws? Is it A, at the time of application, B, 1 week after closing, C, on the day of closing, or D, 3 business days before closing? The answer is D, 3 business days before closing. The closing disclosure must be provided to the borrower at least 3 business days before closing, allowing them time to review the final terms and costs of their mortgage. What information does the Arizona loan estimate not typically include? Is it A, borrower's credit score, B, estimated interest rate, C, monthly payment breakdown, or D, closing costs? The answer is A, borrower's credit score. The loan estimate does not typically include the borrower's credit score, as it focuses on the loan's costs, terms, and fees rather than personal financial details. Arizona-specific loan programs. What is the primary purpose of the Arizona Housing Finance Authority's Mortgage Credit Certificate Program? Is it A, to provide down payment assistance for all homebuyers, B, to reduce the federal tax liability of first-time homebuyers, C, to offer interest-free loans to new homeowners, or D, to subsidize mortgage interest rates for low-income families? The answer is B, to reduce the federal tax liability of first-time homebuyers. The MCC program is designed to help first-time homebuyers by reducing their federal tax liability, making homeownership more affordable. It offers a tax credit for a portion of the mortgage interest paid. How does the Arizona Industrial Development Authority support affordable housing? Is it A, by providing grants to homeowners, B, by offering tax credits to first-time homebuyers, C, by issuing tax-exempt bonds for housing projects, or D, by directly subsidizing rental payments? The answer is C, by issuing tax-exempt bonds for housing projects. The AZIDA issues tax-exempt bonds to finance affordable housing projects, which lowers the cost of borrowing for developers and supports the creation of affordable housing units. Which of the following best describes the Arizona Home Plus program? Is it A, a program offering down payment and closing cost assistance, B, a loan forgiveness initiative for teachers, C, a tax incentive for buying homes in rural areas, or D, a refinancing option for existing homeowners? The answer is A, a program offering down payment and closing cost assistance. The Home Plus program assists homebuyers with down payment and closing cost assistance, making it easier for them to afford the upfront costs of purchasing a home. What eligibility criteria must borrowers meet to qualify for the Arizona Pathway to Purchase program? Is it A, be a veteran or active military personnel, B, have a credit score of 800 or above, C, purchase a home in a rural area, or D, buy a primary residence in designated areas with specific income limits? The answer is D, buy a primary residence in designated areas with specific income limits. Borrowers must be purchasing a primary residence in specific targeted areas and meet income and purchase price limits to qualify for the Pathway to Purchase program. Arizona Department of Housing. What is the primary role of the Arizona Department of Housing in the state's financing landscape? Is it A, to regulate real estate agents and brokers, B, to provide affordable housing and financing solutions, C, to manage state property taxes, or D, to oversee commercial real estate transactions? The answer is B, to provide affordable housing and financing solutions. The ADOH primarily facilitates housing affordability and development through programs and initiatives. It aims to enhance housing options for low and moderate income families, contributing to the state's economic stability. Which program is administered by the ADOH to assist first-time homebuyers in Arizona? Is it A, Home Plus program, B, HARP program, C, Section 8 housing, or D, Federal Housing Administration Loan Program? The answer is A, Home Plus program. The Home Plus program provides down payment assistance to first-time homebuyers, aiming to make homeownership more accessible and affordable for Arizona residents. How does the ADOH contribute to the development of affordable rental housing in Arizona? Is it A, by offering rental subsidies directly to tenants, B, through state-funded mortgage insurance, C, by allocating low-income housing tax credits, or D, by regulating rent prices statewide? The answer is C, by allocating low-income housing tax credits. ADOH allocates low-income housing tax credits to developers, incentivizing the construction and rehabilitation of affordable rental housing, thereby increasing housing options for low-income families. What is a key objective of the Arizona Department of Housing's Housing Trust Fund? Is it A, to finance luxury housing projects, B, to provide grants for commercial real estate, C, to subsidize high-income housing developments, or D, to support affordable housing development and preservation? The answer is D, to support affordable housing development and preservation. The Housing Trust Fund aims to support the development and preservation of affordable housing, particularly for low-income and special needs populations, enhancing housing stability in Arizona. Let's continue with a review of Arizona disclosure requirements and forms. Arizona-specific disclosure requirements. What is the primary purpose of the Arizona Seller Property Disclosure Statement? Is it A, to estimate property value, B, to disclose material facts about the property, C, to list recent renovations, or D, to negotiate the sale price? The answer is B, to disclose material facts about the property. The SPDS aims to inform buyers about material facts and issues related to the property, helping them make informed decisions. It is a key document in Arizona real estate transactions. Which party is responsible for completing the Arizona lead-based paint disclosure? Is it A, the real estate agent, B, the buyer, C, the seller, or D, the home inspector? The answer is C, the seller. The seller is responsible for completing the lead-based paint disclosure for properties built before 1978, ensuring buyers are aware of potential lead hazards. What is the consequence of failing to provide the Arizona buyer advisory to a prospective buyer? Is it A, the contract becomes void, B, the buyer can sue for damages, C, the buyer must renegotiate terms, or D, the seller may face legal issues? The answer is D, the seller may face legal issues. Failure to provide the buyer advisory does not void a contract, but may expose the seller to legal issues if undisclosed defects arise. When must the Arizona HOA addendum be provided to a buyer? Is it A, before contract acceptance, B, after the inspection period, C, at the closing, or D, during the appraisal? The answer is A, before contract acceptance. The HOA addendum must be provided before contract acceptance to inform buyers of any homeowners association rules, fees, and regulations relevant to the property. Commonly used Arizona forms. Which form is commonly used in Arizona to disclose the condition of a property to potential buyers? Is it A, Buyer's Advisory Form, B, Seller's Property Disclosure Statement, C, Lead-Based Paint Disclosure Form, or D, Affidavit of Disclosure? The answer is B, Seller's Property Disclosure Statement. The Seller's Property Disclosure Statement is a standard form used in Arizona to provide buyers with detailed information about the property's condition and any known issues. What is the purpose of the Affidavit of Disclosure in Arizona real estate transactions? Is it A, to disclose lead-based paint hazards, B, to outline financing terms, C, to inform buyers about rural property details, or D, to provide a market analysis? The answer is C, to inform buyers about rural property details. The Affidavit of Disclosure is used primarily in rural property transactions in Arizona to inform buyers about important property details like water availability and legal access. When is the lead-based paint disclosure form required in Arizona real estate transactions? Is it A, for all commercial properties, B, for newly constructed homes, C, for properties with known asbestos, or D, for homes built before 1978? The answer is D, for homes built before 1978. This form is required for properties built before 1978, as older homes may contain lead-based paint, which poses health risks, especially to children and pregnant women. What information must be included in the Arizona residential resale real estate purchase contract? Is it A, purchase price and closing date, B, title insurance policy details, C, homeowner association rules, or D, seller's credit report? The answer is A, purchase price and closing date. The contract must include essential details such as the purchase price, closing date, and any contingencies. This ensures both parties are clear on the transaction terms. Specific procedures for transactions. What is the primary purpose of the Arizona Seller's Property Disclosure Statement? Is it A, to list the property's market value, B, to disclose known material defects, C, to provide a detailed history of ownership, or D, to outline the future development plans of the area? The answer is B, to disclose known material defects. The SPDS is designed to inform potential buyers about any known material defects or issues with the property. It ensures transparency and helps buyers make informed decisions. Which of the following is a requirement for the buyer when receiving the SPDS in Arizona? Is it A, to immediately make an offer, B, to negotiate the closing date, C, to review and acknowledge receipt, or D, to arrange for a property appraisal? The answer is C, to review and acknowledge receipt. The buyer must review the SPDS and acknowledge receipt to ensure they are aware of any disclosed property issues. This is crucial for informed decision-making. What must be disclosed about a property's location in a flood zone in Arizona? Is it A, the property's flood zone status, B, the property's historical flood damage, C, the property's elevation above sea level, or D, the nearest flood control measures? The answer is A, the property's flood zone status. Sellers must disclose if the property is in a flood zone because it affects insurance requirements and potential flood risks, impacting the buyer's decision-making process. In Arizona, what is the role of the lead-based paint disclosure for homes built before 1978? Is it A, to guarantee the home is lead-free, B, to provide a detailed lead inspection report, C, to offer remediation services, or D, To inform buyers of potential lead hazards. The answer is D. To inform buyers of potential lead hazards. The lead-based paint disclosure informs buyers of potential lead hazards in homes built before 1978, ensuring they are aware of health risks and can take necessary precautions.
Thanks for joining us today. If you found this video helpful, subscribe to our channel for more practice exams, tips, and tricks. And don't forget to visit Birdsy.ai for complimentary study sessions with Birdsy, your AI-powered study partner.